All right, guys, so here's one of the things that I've committed to doing this year, you know, both for Kayak Bassing TV and the television show. And that's to show you a lot more of kind of the backstory on how we end up in some of the places that we end up. It's not always 100% foolproof. So like today, I found a couple of places on Google Earth that I wanted to go check out. And sometimes you hit pay dirt, and then sometimes you get this. You've got a friggin' no trespassing sign and a gate on what looks like this perfect peninsula that's gonna put me right in the middle of this isolated lake. We got the wind out of this direction, so it's gonna be perfect. But again, when you get there, you know, there's nothing there. There's no access. And so you have to do a bit of driving around and spot checking. And so this is work product. This is part of how, as a kayak angler, I'm always looking to find that place that I can launch that no one else can launch. And it doesn't matter if I've got to drag the kayak a quarter of a mile or a mile. It doesn't matter if I've got to schlep it over the top of, you know, laydowns and drag it through the woods or whatever. But, you know, that's part of it. And so one of the things that I like to do is I either like to have my depth finder in my lap, and I like to virtually scout using my charting technology, whether it's some insights from Lowrance or whether it is Navionics on my cell phone, and I go back and forth and then I develop a game plan. And so there is a kind of what I would consider a nice spawning pocket, you know, just over here to my west, and the wind's perfect. I don't know what the fish are doing, but I like to start shallow and work my way back deep if I feel like the fish and the conditions are conducive to them being in one phase of the spawn or the other. And I like to start shallow and find out if they're there, and if they're not, I work my way out and see if I can find them in either a pre-spawn or a post-spawn staging area. It is 10:32 right now, and we've yet to be on the water. But this is all part of it. This is all, you know, things that we're gonna do to learn this particular fishery, learn places that we can launch, and have several backups in places that if the wind's out of a different direction, I can go there. It's a lot like hunting when you decide different stand locations, because as a kayak angler, you can't just go out and cover, you know, 30 miles in a day like you can if you're in a bass boat. But this is it. We're on a end of a dirt road, and I end up running into this. So I'm not advocating trespassing. I'm just letting you know that once I see stuff like this, I have to turn around. I will save this and use it as an alternative. And in some instances, it turns out to be private property. You can save it, and there's a number of apps out there for you to figure out who the landowner is. And I get a lot of access by picking up the phone, making a phone call, or mailing a handwritten letter. And it's just part of the game. I love this part of kayak fishing, and it's part of the hunt. So this one didn't end up, this is a dead end. We're gonna head back out and see if we can't find another place to go hook something in the face.